Hello everyone, welcome to the Players Roundup Show on Nigeria Footballers TV. Well, it's quite a bit of an unusual weekend for most of us football lovers as there were no footballing action as leagues across Europe was suspended due to the recent outbreak of the COVID-19 coronavirus all across Europe. Italy, which is the European country that has been hit the most with the virus, there was no footballing action ranging from the Serie A down to the lowest, top flight of football in Italian Serie A. And of course, it is the same for La Liga in Spain, for the Bundesliga in Germany, for the Premier Division in Portugal, for the English Premier League, the Scottish Premiership in Scotland, and just to name a few. But that was the damage that the virus has done to the whole of the footballing world. But in Turkey, in the Turkish Super League, games were played behind closed doors this past weekend, and your favorite Nigerian footballers were in action. So I'll bring you that and more on this edition of the show, and I'll be telling you about what some of your favorite Nigerian footballers, what they have been up to in this weekend of no football in their respective league. My name is Emmanuel Sebastian. It is the Players Roundup Show, and we are Nigeria footballers. Welcome back, guys. So it is still the Players Roundup Show on Nigeria Footballers TV. So let's start off in Turkey with the Istanbul derby, where Henry Onyekuru was in action for Galatasaray as they come up against Besiktas in a league fixture. Now, what is a derby without the fans? Like I mentioned earlier, this game was played behind closed doors. It was a 0-0 game, and Henry Onyekuru, who was on target in the previous derby against Fenerbahce, still in the league fixture, played that game from the start, but he was eventually subbed off later in the game, with the game ending 0-0 at full time. So that was it in the derby. The fixture didn't live up to expectation in terms of goal scoring. So like I mentioned, it was a scoreless stalemate in the Istanbul derby in the Turkish Super League. Now, staying in Turkey, Gaziantep FK with Olariwaju Kayode, they lost away from home to Alanyaspor in the league fixture as well. Olariwaju Kayode played that game as well from the start, but he couldn't find the back of the net as they lost that one by 1-0. So it was a loss for Olariwaju Kayode in that fixture for Gaziantep FK in the Turkish Super League. Now, still in Turkey, let's move to Denizlispor, where Ogenyi Onazi was, he had a fantastic game. He was credited with the assist for a beautiful goal scored by Hudo Rugariega as they won that game by 1-0. It was a brilliant win, a much important win for Denizlispor and Ogenyi Onazi. Ogenyi Onazi, who recently came back from injury, was given the nod in that game as he played from the start, but he was subbed off later in the game. So great to see Ogenyi Onazi contributing to the goals and to the victory for Denizlispor in the Turkish Super League. Now, still in Turkey, we also had the top of the table clash between Trabzonspor and Istanbul Besiktas, and two Nigerians going head to head in that one. It was Anthony Nwakeme for Trabzonspor as well with John Obi Mikel, but Azubike Okechukwu was also, playing for Istanbul Besiktas in that encounter. Now, Anthony Nwakeme played that game from the start. It was a 1-1 game actually. So, Anthony Nwakeme played from the start. John Obi Mikel was an unused sub in that game, but for Azubike Okechukwu, he came on to play the final 10 minutes in that one, with the game ending 1-1 at full time. Trabzonspor are currently battling it out at the top of the Turkish Super League standings. Now we'll move on to Bursaspor now, where Shehu Abdullahi was in action for Bursaspor as they played a 1-1 draw with Boluspor in the Turkish Super League as well. Now, Shehu Abdullahi, who's been so versatile for Bursaspor this season, played that game at right back, and it was a fantastic game. But they played out both teams sharing the spoils in that one, so the game ended 1-1 at full time. There was also fellow Nigerian Seth Sincere, who also played at right back for Boluspor in that same fixture. So both Nigerian right back going head to head in that one as the game ended 1-1 at full time. Now we leave Turkey. Now let's travel to Malaysia for the first time on the show, where Dixon Nwakeme was on the score sheet for his club side Pahang FA in the Malaysian Super League. Now remember, guys, Dixon Nwakeme is the elder brother of Anthony Nwakeme, who plays in the Turkish Super League. So Dixon Nwakeme was on the score sheet. It was a 1-0 away win for Pahang FA in the Malaysian Super League, with Dixon Nwakeme scoring the only goal of the game in that encounter. So good one for Dixon Nwakeme getting in the score sheet. Now from Malaysia, let's move to Hungary, where Haruna Gaba was also in action for Debrecen in the Hungarian NB1. He played that game from the start, but was subbed off later in the game around the 75th minute mark. It was a 3-0 loss at home for Debrecen in that encounter. So great to see Haruna Gaba as well turning out for his club side Debrecen in the Hungarian NB1. With Haruna Gaba, it's a wrap for the Nigerian footballers who were in action on the pitch of play. But what about those that had their leagues suspended? I spoke about earlier on the show, what your favorite Nigerian footballers has been up to and their home, with players advised to keep fit or to stay at home to get themselves busy. And we will be talking about two Nigerians who played for Leganes in the Spanish La Liga. They were Kenneth Omero and Chidozie Awaziem. Well, it was no football, but I think they missed football, but they decided to play with something that has to do with the ball, and they played tech ball in the comfort of their home. It was, a brilliant one to see. They try to keep themselves busy, keep themselves fit, trying to play tech ball. It's a game combining tennis and football, so it was a joy to watch. I kind of like the bromance between Kenneth Omero and Chidozie Awaziem, both players playing for Leganes in the Spanish La Liga. Now, from Kenneth Omero and Chidozie Awaziem, we also saw Moses Simon having a busy time with his daughter at home. They say, find yourself busy, keep yourself busy at home, keep yourself fit at home. But Moses Simon was having a good time with his little daughter in his home in France. So good one for the Nantes forward. I'm sure most of you all will agree. There are a few things that beats, the father and daughter moments. So it was, nice to see Moses Simon having a good time with his little daughter in his home in France. So good one for the Nantes forward. So with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the Players Roundup Show on Nigeria Footballers TV. So guys, I don't know how your weekend went, but there will always be some football action. So share your thought with us. Drop a comment on whichever social media platform you come across this video. We are on Instagram. We are Nigeria Footballers on Instagram. We are Nigeria Footballers on Facebook. We are Nigeria Footballers on Twitter. And guys, we are also on YouTube. We are Nigeria Footballers on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Drop a comment, share your thoughts about those Nigerian footballers, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Turn on notifications for premium Nigerian football content. Guys, even in the midst of the COVID-19 coronavirus, don't forget to put up a positive attitude, because it might be a little thing, but it plays a major role to whatsoever you do in life. I remain Emmanuel Sebastian till I come away again next time. Enjoy the rest of the week.